And just to top the
word for the day. I forgot my word
Oh yeah,
for the day.
what is it?
Ouch.
Yeah, there it is.
Hello. Welcome back to How Hot Dogs Are Made.
A journey through the Cotswolds.
A journey through the heart of England. Yeah. What are we calling this? Cotswolds continued?
Mm-hmm.
Day 3?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, day 3 of the hike.
Nope. This is day 2, my guy.
How many?
Ben's introducing
Well, hold
everything.
on. If it's day 2 of the hike, then it's day 3 of the trip, right?
Yeah, it's day 3 of the trip.
Day 3.
Not of the hike.
Well, I had it right with day 3, and then you got me confused.
Do you remember how many miles was day 2?
I think day 2 was a pretty long one.
Oh, this is a day. This is a day I get sick.
You get sick?
I get heat stroke today.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's right.
No spoilers, I guess. I'll have to not.
This is one where I didn't fully... I knew you were in bad shape, and it was one of those where like the only way out was through.
Yeah, truly, because you couldn't get out.
Yeah. Is this the day where we, with the farm and the water?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Ben is just, here for the ride. So excited.
Right before you hit the record button, you asked if I wanted to like read up on some stuff.
Like, what are we doing?
And I was like, it's kind of fun when you just hit me cold with some questions. And I thought that's what you meant. I didn't consider that I had totally forgotten where we were in this whole short series thing.
All right. Let's dive into A Cotswolds Continued, a commentary and director's cut. Hey, did you enjoy the never before seen footage from last week?
I sure did. And let me tell you why. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen it.
It's been a very busy week. But enough about Ben.
We're about to have a kid. We're busy. There's a lot of stuff going on.
That is very true. All right, everyone.
Oh, this is the one with that sheep. I miss this part.
Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Cotswold walk. It is 9 a.m. and we've got 13 miles to do today. We're a little bit sore, but not too bad, right?
Not bad, a little stiff, but we'll get through it after, day 2, day 3, it'll go away.
It's a beautiful morning. It's going to be a little bit warm today, so we're going to try to knock out as much as we can.
Nothing more challenging than yesterday. That was the nice part.
Yeah.
Yesterday was pretty tough, but that should be.
Everything we have said is wrong so far. Not one of those things. We were very optimistic. It's hotter, it's longer, it's harder.
But again, we were basing that off of that elevation guide, and that climb up to Broadway Tower was a lot, and then the climb back up was a lot. But what we didn't foresee or take into account was these like short, steep sections we would encounter, and the heat. The heat was a total wild card through the whole process.
And we've been dropped off in Stanton, so we slept in Chipping Campden last night. Taxi, had breakfast. Taxi took us to Stanton to start the walk, and then from here on out, we are sleeping in every town we end up in.
About as difficult as it'll be for our whole journey here. So starting out hot.
Also, just what a stupid thing to say on day 2 of a hike. What's going through your head at that point?
We have never done anything like this. We're learning. Our next big hike, we're gonna be so ready for.
Hubris.
Can you hear the birds? What's better than this? I'm starting out with sneakers today instead of my hiking boots. We'll see if I need to change halfway through.
Hey, morning.
Good morning.
Canadians.
You're way better at navigating gates than I am.
Well, it doesn't really help that every gate is different. There's not a lot of uniformity.
Make sure it's closed so the sheep will escape.
You'll see these early videos, like the tripod is set up far away, we're walking, we're doing creative things, and then it goes away. I think after today, I'm like, I'm not walking any extra. I can't. So enjoy those shots while you can.
Thick tree.
There's a lot of spiders on it.
Really?
Oh God, yeah, gigantors.
Wow,
I
yeah.
was just hugging that thing. All right, next time
It's
I'm
like
gonna check the tree before I hug it.
In preparation for this trip, we watched a lot of Rick Steves Europe. And he went to this house and met the Lord and did a tour, and we're walking.
I could have phrased that better.
Rick Steves found Jesus in the Cotswolds. I love the way you said that. It makes me laugh every time. Met the Lord.
Yeah.
Walking by it. This is Stanway House. So Rick Steves and the Lord were here, and now we're here. Not open for visitors.
Not now, anyway. Doing a quick change into boots.
Oh no.
What?
Look at the blisters.
You have blisters? That's not good. All right. I don't remember what it's called now, but we were warned about this stuff.
We had walked 11 miles, and I had some pretty gnarly blisters. And we had 90 miles. Not 90 miles. I can't do math. How many miles to go?
A lot. I thought your boots had been broken in enough at this point that blisters wouldn't be a concern for you, because we'd each worn those hiking boots about the same amount on some previous trips, and mine were like comfortable and broken in.
I got weird feet.
Yeah, you do.
It's got all these little, it almost just looks like peach fuzz. Apparently, if you rub up against these things, it can burn like crazy. A couple little things you want to keep an eye out for.
They're all over, so you really have to actively avoid it.
Everywhere.
Oh boy. That's scary.
All right, let's see.
I'm freaking scared.
I think the coast is clear.
All right. I have a feeling we're going up that hill. We didn't see a bull in the field, so that's good news.
So, I got a comment specifically about this field and this bull.
Okay.
Somebody said, don't look at my nose.
Oh, sorry.
I've walked through that field with that bull warning at least 20 times and have never encountered one. So I'm wondering.
It could just be a sign to encourage people to stay on the path.
Yeah. And I was scared. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Well, the dog's growling, and I keep seeing movement out there, so I keep thinking we've got like an Amazon delivery guy coming up.
And you were wearing like a maroon red shirt, which I was like, oh, bulls don't like red. I think that's a myth.
I think it's more about movement.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't see the bull, and no one ever has.
News, especially because Ben's wearing red. But Ben did eat a Cliff Bar and has a weird amount of energy. So he's just been telling jokes for the last 15 minutes.
You should consider yourself lucky. Most people don't have a walking partner who's hilarious, handsome, the whole package.
Go on without me.
Okay, bye.
These are some cute cows. Hi, guys. What are your names?
Lunch and dinner.
Yikes. Not cool, but correct. How many miles? 2.7?
2.7.
Not bad. All right, 2.7 miles down. This is our 13 mile day.
Well, this gate
It doesn't work.
wasn't working, so
Oh.
we are just climbing up and over this thing.
Oh. Okay.
Tell you, after the climb and with the packs on, this thing's probably 3 feet tall, but it was not easy. Oh yeah, okay. Just when I think it's flattening out, I can see one more scramble up the rest of that hill. But I don't see any more hill beyond that. We are pretty damn high if you just...
Again, just I'm writing the book on just dumb things you can say on a hike through hilly terrain.
Right. The hike you do No,
Anyway.
there's no more hills. Oh, okay. Well, that's literally what you're doing.
Scan. There's not a whole lot that looks like it's much higher than us right now. So
I mean, we climbed that. We were at the
In
bottom.
that one direction.
we did.
This is a big thing.
That's
It's not the
yeah.
biggest one.
Over here.
And what's worse is we climbed down this hill and then up an even higher hill. I feel like we're doing a lot of complaining, but we're having a good time. This is a lot of fun. This is fun, but it's hard. I've got maybe a blister on day 2. Ben's fine. Ben's like never had a blister in his life.
You get your first blister, what, like the last day?
I think it was the last day.
And I was so happy.
It was from walking. It was because we did a lot of downhill walking. I think I got like a blister on the side of one of my toes or something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I had a blister on every single one of my toes.
I remember it might be in the video, but I remember like pulling my sock off, and I was like, it kind of hurts. The look you gave me, I was like, yep, I'll just keep that one to myself for now.
This feels like something out of Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, it does. I want to read a book here.
Oh boy. All right. Steep part. We found a bench.
Running is so much easier.
We found a bench. Probably when we needed it most.
Heart rate check. 163. Check it out. Not a cloud in the sky.
This is where I start to get sick, I think.
Normally, I'd be very grateful for that. Not today. Kind of hot. Okay.
We have jackets in our backpack. Like, we are fully prepared for cold weather.
Not cold, but rain.
We
had
have
raincoats.
We don't have
on us.
sunscreen.
Yeah.
I ended up with
We weren't ready for that.
it was like a blister, but I was sweating so much that it.
Oh no! You
What
got a little sunburn, but then you were sweating. You started sweating as you were sunburnt, so your sweat was like bubbling up under your sunburn.
You could pop the sweat from my skin. That is how much sun was.
Yeah, it wasn't quite like blistering.
No, it wasn't. I said blister. I don't mean blister.
It looked pretty gnarly. But yeah, it was one of those things where we, like a week and a half, like 2 weeks out, a week out, it was still like there was just rain sporadically all through the forecast.
60s.
So we were like, just be ready for it. And then even as the forecast was clearing up, there were still a few days, but everything we were reading was like, treat it like Florida, where you can, the forecast just changes on a whim. But then there wasn't a cloud over the entire country of England.
No.
The entire time we were there.
Which is great. Like, awesome. I wish we were more prepared for that.
The only thing we could have done differently is pack
sunscreen.
Sunscreen, yeah.
And different clothes.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts.
Well, we ran out of water on this day.
Yeah.
Been for more of an overcast kind of thing.
And
But, it is what it is.
And no sunscreen, because we're geniuses.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, who thinks to bring sunscreen
England.
to England?
It's gonna be raining the whole time. I packed pants and rain gear.
I know, I have like my Columbia sweaters and...
I have 2 pairs of shorts that I'll be wearing this whole journey.
Yep.
We are at the top of the hill.
Not the tallest one.
Not the tallest one, but
one of 2 today.
the top of this one. It might be 3 today.
No, I think it's just 2. It's just 2. It's just 2, right?
She. You said it.
Yes.
We're so in love. We sat there for like a long time in Ben time and had a snack. Like, what, 15 minutes? Which to you,
It was an eternity.
but it was so nice. That is a hill to have a snack on. Just sheep everywhere.
I remember the ground feeling really cool there too.
Yeah.
taking a little bit of a detour to, what is it called?
Hale's Fruit Farm. A fruit farm, apple orchard, other fruits, but the orchard is kind of the main attraction.
So I think we're just gonna do a snack and then get lunch later on, but not a bad idea to relax the legs.
Yeah, the next town in is Winchcombe, which is probably another like
2 or 3.
2 miles, maybe like 1.75 miles, but it's pretty flat, so it won't be too difficult of a walk to there. So we're thinking we'll stop here for a quick drink, maybe a little snack, then get through to Winchcombe for lunch and a pint, and then start our ascent. Yeah. Couple apples, Freshman Farm.
Is it the red apple or the green apple? One of the ladies was like,
Yeah, one of the two. She was like, "That one's for cooking.
Yeah,
You don't want to eat that
she
one."
said, don't buy that apple. That's not the one you want.
Noted.
Thanks.
Nice. Oh, I want to buy this for my brother. I'm hurting so bad, but I'm not telling Ben. So we're gonna have a nice little picnic. Yeah.
Just what the doctor ordered. Probably about crow-sized, right?
The pheasant?
And brown. Would you say
A couple people asked us what this app was.
Mhm.
What's it called? Merlin?
Merlin, yeah, it's the Merlin like bird identification app, but it was really cool. And I might actually explain it here in 10 seconds, but you basically just punch in a bunch of characteristics, attributes, color, size, like what's it doing? Is it flying? Is it on the ground? Is it wading through water? And based on your location and all of those things you've put in, it gives you a bunch of possibilities on what it could be. And then from there you can kind of, and it gives you a bunch of different pictures of like, juvenile, older, male, female, things like that. So you can figure out what you're looking at. It also, it has a feature where it just listens.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And through your microphone, if you can hear bird calls, it'll pick it up and it'll kind of classify the birds based on the call. So that was just kind of a fun thing we did as we walked along too.
You have to care about birds to care about the app, but it is cool to see what was around. Our dogs are wrestling. Do you guys mind? So if you hear ruckus,
They've been pretty tame all day until right now.
I know. There was one more thing. Someone did comment on this video and say it was a pheasant.
It was
that we see. Yeah.
See?
orange?
I'd say red.
Red?
He is on the ground.
It could be this partridge.
No, is a partridge the same as a pheasant?
Oh, in a pear tree.
Yeah.
We're at a farm. I get it.
Nothing like eating an apple and drinking a cider made from these apples. Farmed by the Harrow family since the 1950s, Hale's Fruit Farm was originally planted by Lord Sudeley in the 1880s. These ciders are all crafted from hand-harvested apples grown in the heart of the Cotswolds.
We're in the heart of the Cotswolds.
And I think this is a restaurant too. Like we had gone here with the intent to have like tea, and then like they were closing, so that's why no one's there.
Okay.
And we didn't do that.
There are also campsites along the Cotswold Way, so if you don't want to stay in a hotel every night, you can camp. And this place is one of the stops along the way. So if you want to camp, you've got a bathroom, running water, bring a tent, and have a good night's sleep. Here's the area. You walk through some bushes, and you camp right here.
If you're hardcore, this is the end of your first day. We've watched some videos on YouTube of people who do their first day all the way to here. So if you don't have 9 days to do the hike and you're probably more used to hardcore hikes, this is more doable than stopping in Stanton. You can stop here. Not us.
I think this was really only a few miles further, probably another like 3, maybe 4 miles.
We said
further
2.7, so it's probably about 13 miles. So your first day could be 13 miles or 10.
Yeah.
Electric hookups, a couple bathrooms. 2.5 miles still. We just passed the Abbey.
Hale's Abbey owes its construction to a vow made by Richard, Earl of Cornwall, should he survive a storm at sea during his return from a military campaign. The ship returned safely to harbor, and the then Earl, son of King John and brother of Henry III, who was responsible for the construction of Westminster Abbey, founded the abbey in 1246. We just walked past. Oh, actually, we can.
Yeah, you can see some
Get a
ruins.
pretty good view of it.
It's cool.
That was the abbey. Good stuff.
Now, the reason this is interesting. The reason it's just ruins at this point. Many of the community died in 1361 during a recurrence of the Black Death.
The reason, other than it being like 1,000 years old.
Well, other abbeys are still standing.
That's true.
Ooh.
The monastery was dissolved in 1539, so just under 300 years later. One of the last to be closed on Henry VIII's orders, and the abbey was destroyed. The remainder of the estate was given by the king to Catherine Parr. Later, the buildings were adapted as a country house, but by 1794, that was also in ruins. Yeah, so there you go.
That's our town. That's where we'll have lunch.
Winchcombe.
Winchcombe. All right, so we picked up a few sandwiches in Winchcombe.
Yeah, we did. And did not show you any of that. But it was cool. Nice little town. Stopped in the pub, hung out with some friends that I think it was the Canadians that we kept running into.
We saw John and Teresa there too. Yeah, but they were stopping. They ended their day there.
That's
and
right.
They headed on to go. There was I think a castle you could go see and a couple other things to explore, but we plowed on through.
Yeah.
I still don't know if we're pronouncing the name of that town correctly. Yeah. I feel like it's like Winchcombe.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. They'll tell us if we're wrong. But in a very nice way. So I always appreciate that. This is a place I wish we would have had more time to explore because there were actually things to see and do. So tip, make time for this town, Winchcombe. But we just we drank at the pub, we grabbed sandwiches, and then we kept going, which was a mistake for me. My decline starts now.
Had a pint or two. 2:30, we've got 6 more miles to go. We have a dinner reservation at 7. We have plenty of time, but the rest of this hike is uphill, so we wanted to make sure we had plenty of time for tiny breaks to eat our sandwiches. So I think we're gonna wait until we find a nice view to start having lunch. So this is a cricket field. How do we know that? Well, pretty obvious. But if you look
there's a scoreboard over yonder.
Pretty good lunch spot.
Give me a sandwich.
There you go. It's a lot of dirt.
I still hate the way I said that. I don't know why it came out that way. It's so demanding.
But I'm definitely gonna put my butt there.
This one's yours.
Uh-oh, we got some sheeps coming over to say, give me that sandwich. Crap, hold on, it's like really coming over. Sheep are cool, right?
I think so. Hey, right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool down.
I just want to say, this was the most scared I was on this hike, which says a lot.
Were you scared?
I was. I don't know about sheep. Do they bite your face off? I don't know.
I wasn't worried about that. I was more concerned just with like messing with the animals. Like what I didn't want to have happen was like someone comes by who is responsible for these guys or like owns that land or something, and it looks like we're messing with
I was
the livestock.
scared. I was like, I don't know about sheep. And they're ambushing us. They're surrounding us.
It was an ambush, yeah.
My palms still get sweaty.
Get a little closer there, homeboy.
That is fear. That is fear in my eyes.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Maybe we should get moving.
Okay, we're gonna leave. Sheep are, I don't know if sheep are mean, but
I don't think they are, but
We are climbing. This is where being from Florida kind of kicks you in the butt, but it's all good. We're getting some shade here in just a bit. We're well beyond the halfway mark of the hike today, so take a little comfort in that. The plus side, look at these views. View of Rachel bending over. I wish I could say that was scripted. Look at these views.
I'm just dying.
Hey, you're walking backwards up the
I
hill.
thought it would help.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
Ben is carrying around a ladybug. Not sure why.
for good luck.
For good luck. Okay. He's cute. I made it up atop of a hill. It was really hard. We are taking a break in the shade. We just climbed up this giant hill. That's the time we were just in, and now we're here.
Rachel's taking.
This is where we lost her.
So you eat your sandwich there,
Mhm.
and I am so hot. I'm like, I'm not going to eat, which is a mistake. And I think we run out of water at this point. And I'm prone to heat stroke, so I'm sitting here in this moment, and Ben's going around. This is Bella's nap, and I am not okay.
Yeah.
If you've ever had heat stroke, not great.
A little break from the sun. But
Like, I'm not even processing what you're saying. Like, I am like,
Yeah.
like, don't
I had no
freak
idea
out.
it was
Yeah,
that bad.
I was not good. I'm like, don't freak out, stay calm. You don't need water. I'm like, seriously, like,
Yeah.
I'm not good.
Not great.
this is the Bellis Nap, KNAP. Essentially, it's literally a prehistoric burial ground. And they found the remains of, I think it was like 5 adults and some teenagers and some animal bones and different things like that. But everything they've been able to, I guess, determine on the place is that it's an old ancient burial site. So we've been,
And then we couldn't figure out which way to go after that, remember? We walked in the woods the wrong way.
Yeah, it took a few minutes to figure out where to go from there.
Yeah.
It was tough. Just a tough stretch in general.
Yeah. But like even here, this is many hours later, I want to say.
No, not many hours. I mean, maybe like an hour. But this was, so after that, it was like all kind of like it felt like top of a ridgeline. But it was just like top of a hill, exposed, like no shade for a while after that.
Yeah.
Which is why there wasn't a lot of footage, because you didn't have like the energy to record.
just walking through basically open fields like this since the Bellis Nap site. It's really hot. We were expecting more of a overcast and rainy for this week, not scorching. Probably another, I don't know, hour and a half worth of walking, depending on how the hill climb goes. And then gonna get horizontal. And, it's been a tough one today.
I remember walking through that felt like a godsend after just having some shade. And maybe I feel like there was like a breeze running through there too. It was nice.
Huh?
I think that's our final plan.
That's cool. I'm back. I had a little bit of a heat problem, and so I kind of faded for a minute, but I kept on. And we've got maybe a mile or so left, 1.4 miles, and it is hard. It is hard. But look at this. Oh my gosh, who lives there? It is gorgeous.
We are tired.
Do you want to say it?
Poor thing.
No one walks like this who is okay.
She was hurting.
This was when actually, no, this is
This
okay.
is where the hips.
This is when the hip pain started, but when we were getting up to this place, we couldn't figure out where to go again. There was like a Do we go down? The instructions were weird because we were reading them from the hotel. And it was like, you have to go this way and then down this hill and then through this gate and then past these trees. And we were like...
Right. Well, I remember specifically there was something about... Basically, it was like, you're going to hit this gate. And then you have to do this, this, and that. And they were like, the gate is labeled ABC. And we found a gate labeled ABC, but none of the other instructions made any sense. Mm-mm. So then I was like, this was one of the times I broke out the GPS.
Yeah.
So I looked at where we were relative to where I knew we needed to be. And we still had a little ways to go according to the map.
Yeah.
So we decided, okay, let's just carry on. But there was a solid, like, kind of 10 to 15 of just like meandering around that area, trying to figure out what to do. And then, what ended up happening was...
It's not right here. It was a different place.
What ended up happening was there's a second gate or whatever, like a second marker of the exact same type that you see further on. And then everything made sense.
Yeah.
So it was like I don't know, there was just one little bit of missing info to either say, the second time you see this, or like, give me another landmark, once you get up on the other side of this hill or something like that.
And then the hill.
Is this where we ended at Cleeve Hill?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I really liked this part. It also didn't help. Long day, and then it ends, with like getting nearly to the top of Cleeve Hill.
Kind of sore, hurting a little bit. Taking in some pretty insane views up here. How you feeling? Give me your... I don't know if we'll have the energy to do a day 2 wrap up from the room, so give me your takeaway from today.
This was hard. I thought what would hurt on this trip is not hurting at all. Like, my back, totally fine. My hips, really just my hips, which is strange. So many hills today, which is awesome, and it's a lot. It was so hot that I'm looking forward to sleeping. That's my wrap up.
Fair enough. Lovely view. Come on, we're almost there.
I know.
We're so close.
What are we?
We are. Poor gal. She is.
Once again, I just disappeared to the back.
Feeling it today. Tomorrow is not much easier. It's a 15-mile day. Today was 13 and a half. Although I think today and yesterday were the worst of the elevation changes. There's still a good amount of elevation change the rest of the walk, but I think today and yesterday were the 2 extremes. Hopefully some dinner and a good night's rest, and we'll bounce right back. It's really just been the exhaustion from the heat. Well, for me personally anyway, it's been the toughest part.
I have never been happier to see a hotel in my life. I might cry.
Yeah.
This was a long day.
Let's go get checked in. Let's get some water. Just what we wanted to see.
I will sleep here. I will sleep on this here pallet. This is not a joke. This is the most pain I've ever been in my life. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a hard life, but this day was hard. And we are at the most beautiful hotel on the side of a hill, gorgeous. I have zero energy to look at it, explore. We have dinner reservations at 7. I don't think I'm getting out of this bed.
We made it out of the hotel room.
And it was worth it.
We gutted it out. It was a 5-minute walk. I mean, this place is beautiful. They set us up for dinner at the Rising Sun. Oh, the name is directly above your head, so that couldn't have gone better. And this is your view from dinner. What do you think? Worth it?
Yes. Ask me after I've eaten.
I don't think I ate lunch that day. So all I had this day was breakfast. We ran out of water. I did not eat my sandwich. Thank God you got me to this restaurant. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm glad we came. I definitely needed food today.
It's hard to think we almost didn't come to dinner today.
Yeah.
I got a steak. It's pretty damn delicious.
my wound from falling earlier. My knee hurts a little bit. I may have twisted it in a fun way, so that's cool. My hips hurt, my feet hurt. Ben's doing great. Ben's got no problems, and he's very good at encouraging me.
Oh, I hurt all over again.
It really, going from the end of that day into that little intro doesn't paint the rosiest picture of that hike. But in fairness, I think it is true to your experience. It was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you went through a lot of pain. I've done some hiking in my past. When I was younger, I played sport. I feel like my body was kind of a little more ready for it than what you experienced.
Does it speak volumes that I would do it again in a heartbeat, like with all the pain again?
Oh yeah, because you would
absolutely
experience
Yeah,
all of that all over again.
Yeah. I haven't trained. If anything, my body's gotten worse.
And really, I mean, the big takeaways, and honestly, I don't think we would get that weather if we did that trip the same week every year for 50 years.
No.
I think that was a total fluke that we got what we got.
I'm so glad it was clear and
Yeah.
hot so we could see everything. But part of me wants to do an English hike where it's raining and there's mud.
We say that, but then you'd probably, like, at the end of the day, you're probably like wet and cold and shivering, and all I'm saying is where you're probably just trading one kind of pain for another.
Well, let's
pain, but
do it all.
I would like to go back.
We talk about Cleeve Hill a lot because there's a golf course that Ben really wants to play at. It's definitely a place we will visit again.
The footage in the next video covers all of that, but man.
And then there's somebody who in our comments who said that they live there and that we could stay with them. So don't think we're not hitting you up because we're totally are.
Thinking about it. There in Cleeve Hill, I think we did notice it that day. That there's also a golf course there. Did we pick up on that when we were arriving, or was it not until the next morning that we realized?
I think it was the next day because we kind of went around it, and then the next day you go through it. Yeah.
But that golf course, you just walk right through it, and we ended up walking through like 3 or 4 in total.
Save it for tomorrow.
Oh man,
save it for the next video. All right, I have comments from the people on our day 2 video. All right, sheep are usually timid. Unless walkers feed them, then they lose their fear. So I was not wrong to fear them. Because I don't know who's feeding these sheep. Freaking Americans probably feeding sheep.
Well, I still don't think you need to fear. I don't think it would get violent. But I mean, that one definitely wasn't afraid of approaching us. He was looking for food.
In our face. Yeah. Okay, the bird was a pheasant. Great. Okay, I like this comment a lot.
Okay.
There's something cool about seeing your country through the eyes of tourists. Things and views you can tend to take for granted being born here, like every fence is different comment. I liked that because it's we do that, and everyone does. You take for granted the place you live, but then seeing someone else experience it. I mean, we're looking at hills and we're crying, Yeah. We're looking at fences thinking, wow, this is great.
I imagine it's a similar thing when people from, the UK come and they go to the beach in Florida or the theme parks.
Yeah.
There's things we definitely have that are very unique to here that are pretty cool. But
another comment I liked. I'm impressed that you managed those hills after coming from flat Florida. Thank you. Yes. I am also impressed with myself.
Me too.
Something to note. It was warm, and there's no air conditioning in a lot of these places.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you're doing these hikes, you got to keep in mind there's no air conditioning, and it was hot. So you get to your hotel, and then you just continue to sweat.
In those cases, you go take a cold shower and try and cool yourself off. But man, yeah.
Somebody asked what the temperature was. I think it was in the 80s.
Yeah, 80 Fahrenheit. So I don't.
Oh yeah.
Let me figure this out really quick. What that is in Celsius.
It was 80 degrees Celsius.
Let's see. Closer to
22. 21.
Mid to high 20s. Mid to high 20s.
Yeah. There were 2 comments out of all of the great comments. There were 2 comments where people were mad that I was complaining so much. And hey, listen, I agree. I was complaining a lot. But it was hard. It was hard and it was hot.
It was hard.
I think when we do another hike,
There it is.
let's not comment on the hills because that's everything. That's our challenge. And having the kid in tow.
Yeah. I mean, if we do another hike, it'll be, unless we do it like a long time into the future, there will be a kid either walking with us or riding,
Small.
I guess.
I think
being carried.
Small. Yeah.
So it'll either be relatively soon
Coming to a pub near you.
or it'll be a few years down the road. We'll see. Man, that would be really cool.
I know. I'm pushing for it. Don't worry. Literally pushing.
Got to figure out where that sweet spot is.
Great. Hey, that was day 2. Thanks for watching. As always, here comes the never before seen footage. Ben and Joy, things you've never seen.
I'll probably watch it before we get to the next video, maybe.
Yeah. Thanks for supporting our YouTube channel.
I'll try.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll see you on the next.
Hot dog stories.
Goodbye.
You can smile too. You can smile a little bit.
I am smiling. This is my happy face. Can you tell just by my existence that I'm happy?
Was it ripe?
Breakfast. Yeah, it was a good one.
That's cool. Okay. God, this is freaking gorgeous.
Birds chirping. Horses horsing. So we just passed another sign. We had to cross another kind of busy road, but we were about a half a mile from Wood Stanway.
Is that where the farm is?
No, I think the farm's further down. Yeah, it might be a cool little village that we'll walk through. We'll see. I really don't know what to expect. Gosh, it is still beautiful out here. Warming up a little bit, but we've got more of a breeze right now, which makes it feel way better. We've had a good amount of shade. Solid start to the day. Hey.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
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 Oh. Hey.
All right, we are an hour and a half in this morning. Now, okay, there we go. So we're up these stairs. Pretty unbelievable views. I hope you can see it behind me. But we're doing pretty good so far. We are moving all right. Let's see, it seems like we're just cutting straight up. Doing all right? She's doing good. Hanging in there. I think we have a pretty good descent. Well, I'm trying to remember the map now. I think it levels out for a bit.
Yeah.
And then we got a pretty good descent into Winchcombe, maybe?
Straight back up.
And then straight back up. Our destination is a place called Cleeve Hill, which is the highest point in the Cotswolds. So at the end of the day, we will be climbing up Cleeve Hill for the last probably 2 or 3 miles out of a 13-mile day.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We have had, up until literally right now, there's been a pretty steady breeze blowing, which is cut things cool, but man alive, that sun is beating down. There's not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day. But this is, according to a couple people we spoke to, this is essentially a heat wave they're going through right now. So it's a tolerable heat, but still heat nonetheless. All right, let's grind through this last bit and then it'll flatten out.
What is it, Ben?
It's nice hardware.
You get some more paint supplies?
Who knew? I don't want to paint anymore. We've bought way too much paint. Incorrect paint. And we still have to figure out how to clear. Actually, maybe we should jump in and ask how to properly.
They'd be way nicer.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so we have made our way out of Winchcombe. We stopped for a pint, saw a few other of the people also doing the Cotswold Way kind of around the same time as us. We are heading up a little further than they are today, so we probably won't see them until Bath at the end of this. But the folks that are staying in Winchcombe are heading over to, it's either Sudley or Sudley Castle.
It's a pretty epic looking castle.
Yeah, beautiful gardens, but it was just far enough out of our way that we still have enough miles to cover that we just couldn't take the time to walk that far out of the way and then walk some more to tour the castle and the gardens. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately not going to see that one on this trip, but maybe another time, who knows.
Well, pretty obvious. But if you look
There's
over...
a scoreboard over yonder,
Okay, good.
but also just from research.
But if you look over here, you'll see along this fence, there are little footpaths where you can hop over, because I kept losing the ball. So instead of climbing the fence, you can just take one of these steps, go get the ball, and then get back to your game. Wow. What?
And the sheep. So we're actually, all this up here is a golf course. This is I forget what they call it, the Cleeve. It's like the Cleeve Hill Golf Club, I think. But golly, I found some videos online talking about how much of a kind of a hidden gem this course is. Makes me wish we had the time and I had the energy and life left in my legs to be able to play around, but can't win them all. So we are following some specific instructions now. We're supposed to follow along this fence towards 3 lovely green trees.
I see him.
Should take you a couple of minutes to reach the trees, having passed a bench on the right and a beautiful view of the town of Bishop's Cleeve on the right. You see a bench?
I do.
Oh, perfect. There's a bench. Okay, so I think those are our 3 lovely green trees. The path now heads down past the trees with the grass underfoot turning to stone and gravel. So as long as we end up not on grass, we should be okay. Then you keep heading down until it turns back to grass again. At this point, you'll see a black and white house ahead. Take the lower grassy path to reach the back of this house. And just to top
my
the
word for the
day.
day. I forgot my word
Oh yeah,
for the day.
what is it?
Ouch.
Yeah, there it is. Just to top the day off, a couple golfers finishing up their round. And about 100 more sheep.